Hello, my people. I don't come again. Let's watch and see what is happening in Chinese TV. What Abiola's son is saying. That is very, very hurtful to hear such coming from that guy, from that his son's mouth. I feel so pain to hear such people comes out in international television to say such word that is very hurtful, very painful. Watch and listen, please.
As in, like, the same people that did not want my father to succeed, they also don't want him to succeed because of the fact that he supported my dad and he almost lost everything. But that's my own personal opinion. I'm not forcing my opinion.
And your father preached hope, and Bola Tinubu too is also preaching hope.
Yeah, preaching hope, because that's you. And even my book, Facebook I wrote, I called it Realistic Hope. Hope is the only thing. Even Barack Obama, his book was Audacity of Hope, Hope. Without hope, we cannot get anywhere. And there's no way we can keep having hope if we see people going
But when the hope looks like a dashed one and people think that what they wanted, they are not getting it. You don't think
I'll tell you what's so funny, when I was a kid, there was a hospital near my house. When they take me there, whenever I have malaria, they're going to give me injection, I'll just run away. And they will drag me back, I'll run away again, then they'll finally hold me and they'll give me the injection. After 2 days, after the pain, I'll now be happy because I'll be playing around, I would have recovered. So sometimes for you, things to get better, they have to get tough. It's a test and it's from God. But you see, God is testing people, and it's not just in Nigeria.
So God,
in America,
there's a hand of God in all of this.
There's a hand of God in everything. Even in the United States.
Which part?
Even
the hardship?
Everything.
Or the protest?
The hardship, the
or
sweetness,
the president
anything you go
power?
through. The president coming to power was divine. What is happening is also, even in the United States, the highest level of inflation in the United States this year, it's never happened like that in the US before. The whole world, it's like, I don't know what's going on. I think God is really testing us, And I'll tell you this, we have to pass the test. When I see people looting and all of that, all in the name of protest, I say to myself that the person you are looting, you don't know what he has gone through to even open the shop.
All right. Let me pause it for a moment.
Yes.
Let's go to our Lagos studio where Mr. Inibe Effiong is with us. Give us an understanding. I saw pictures of you on the street in Lagos today. What is your own assessment of the success or otherwise of this protest?
Well, ordinarily, I would have just gone straight to answer your question, but I would like to respond to a few things Mr. Jamiu Abiola has said, and to remind Nigerians that in 2019, Mr. Jamiu Abiola told Nigerians that the then Buhari represented the vision of his father, and in fact told Nigerians to vote. He told Nigerians in 2019 to vote for Buhari to honor his father. In 2020, you can fact-check me on this, Jamiu Abiola, who is President Tinubu today, told Nigerians that Buhari had the same vision with his father. When Buhari left in 2023, thousands of Nigerians were slaughtered. The economy was nothing to write home about. The so-called wall against corruption was a complete flop. The entire country was in ruins. Tinubu came in, and even Tinubu has said that he made Nigeria destroyed. At least people loyal to him are saying so. So I begin to wonder whether Buhari's legacy represents the vision of Abiola for Nigeria. I think that is the question Mr. Jamiu and his family should think about, because when he speaks in this manner, it is a desecration of the name of his father. And I'm saying that because I'm very upset about some of the things he has said. Now, regarding your question, I think Nigerians should no longer be taken for granted. We cannot continue to live in a country where we have leaders who do not listen to what the people are saying. People claim, that the president is doing this, the president is listening. Mr. Sheun, this protest has lasted for 2 days now. Has President Tinubu spoken to Nigerians? I personally don't want him to address Nigerians. I want him to address the demands of Nigerians. It's not the same thing. But has he even addressed Nigerians? 48 hours after, dozens of over 12 Nigerians have been killed at a minimum. Has the president spoken? 48 hours after, has the government even said, okay, we want to talk? These are our representatives in the dialogue. Because people kept saying protesters should talk to the government. They said the protesters are faceless, they are leaderless. Who are the people that represent the face of the government if the conversation or dialogue is to take place? And what are the demands of the protesters? Because you say people should leave the streets, but have you listened to them? Have you listened to them? You have a president that has 48 ministers, Sheun, 48 ministers. the highest in the history of our country, at a time that the country does not have money to run and pay for basic services. If the president is serious, he shouldn't take Tinubu 1 hour to reduce the number of ministers to 87. Because constitutionally, every state is entitled to minister plus the FCT. There is no reason why Nigeria should have more than 37 ministers. So when the protesters say they need you to reduce the cost of governance, these are actions that can be taken under 24 hours. People say they want electoral reform. Shehu, you saw how the Akpabio Senate and the counterpart in the House of Reps convened to amend the Police Act to extend the tenure of the IG within 24 hours. Under 24 hours emergency session, they also passed an appropriation act. If the president is serious about addressing the protesters, by now the Federal Ministry of Justice would have come up with a draft bill to amend the Electoral Act and send it to the National Assembly to make electronic transmission of results mandatory under our law. This is one of the demands. If the president is serious, if the president is really serious, he would have addressed, right, other demands of the protesters, including economic policies that have been introduced, that have rendered Nigerians homeless, that have rendered Nigerians hungry. They told us on the 29th of May last year, Shehu, that the president has removed subsidy. We are aware from records that the last year, you can fact check me, about 3 trillion was paid for subsidy. Where is the fuel? We are still having queues. People cannot find it to buy. They have increased the cost of the electricity tariff. That has now made a mess of power in our country. So you continue to introduce policies that are subjugating people, and people are protesting. You haven't said anything to address it. You want to buy a new aircraft. You are building a new residence for Shetima, and you say there is no money. And you are saying that people should listen. Now Wike is coming out to make irresponsible statements. I'm not surprised. Nobody is surprised. The same Wike that was threatening people not to come out in the FCT, you are hearing what the governors are saying, because they claim that the president has given money to governors, right, to ameliorate the suffering of Nigerians. For me, that is just a largesse, because you are dealing with governors that are not accountable. There is no single House of Assembly in Nigeria today, out of the 36, not one, not in Lagos, not in Akwa Ibom, not in Zamfara, that can hold a governor accountable, not even one. All of them have become stooges of governors. Shehu, are you not aware that governors are still spending billions monthly, are still spending billions as running costs to buy new vehicles, to run their government houses on frivolous things? Shehu, we are dealing with a kleptomaniac political class in our country. We are dealing with people that have made up their minds to destroy our country. So how can the president be giving money to governors that nobody can hold accountable? And they claim they are distributing rice. How many rice? How many families have received this rice? How many? They claim that they are going to reduce the cost of a bag of rice to 40,000. Maybe in the villa, they are selling it at that amount. In the markets in Lagos, I haven't seen that. So maybe if in the Akpabio Senate, that they are selling rice for 40,000, I've not seen it anywhere. So the point I am making, if you are really honest about engagement with the protesters, because it's not enough to say you want to engage. Are you really honest about it? Are you honest about it? I am excited that in Lagos, the situation is relatively calm. And that is because at our own level, we are also talking, advising the protesters to be calm. But guess what? Even as I speak to you, today we just secured the release of 12 people from Panti. The governor said it is peaceful. The CP said it is peaceful. People are still being arrested. In Calabar, protesters were arrested. So you have provocation all over the country. And the military is even issuing a statement to threaten Nigerians. So which one should we take? If the government is interested in dialogue, government talks are attacking protesters all over the country. If you are interested in dialogue, who do you want the protesters to talk to? And which of the demands are you willing to make? What concession has to do?
Let's continue. In your own view, how can it be stopped? What should the president do?
Shehu, very simple. Very simple. Today, before we wake up tomorrow, I want to hear Mr. Tinubu announce to Nigerians that he has reduced the number of his ministers to 37. I want to hear Tinubu announce that the cost of governance, the cost of running the presidency has been cut by at least 50%. I want to hear the National Assembly and the President announce that the running cost of the National Assembly has been reduced by 50%. I want to hear Tinubu announce that the cost of fuel has been reduced, the electricity tariff has been reduced, that a bill has been sent to the National Assembly to make electronic transmission of results mandatory. I want to hear Tinubu announce
that the recommendations of the NSAS panel has been implemented. Until date since 2020, nobody has been held accountable. Nobody has been held accountable for the killings at the toll gate. People are still in detention.